All right, here we go. Tyler Glasnow back on Foul Territory. Good to see you, Tyler. Crazy last few days. We were excited to talk to you about the near no-nos that are occurring. How you doing? And do you know how many no-hitters we've seen in baseball this year?
I'm good. First of all, and no, is there zero? Right? Isn't this like a no-hitter season or something? Yeah.
None.
What's a normal
Since 2005?
season?
Yeah. 2005.
Wait,
last time there was not a no-hitter in a season was the year that the Chicago White Sox were led by AJ Pierzynski and won a World Series.
Wait, how many? What's an average year? Like 2, 1, 2?
It's around 2.
2? Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 2 per year. But the last 15, they're averaging about 4 until this year.
Oh, damn.
So,
well,
way to go, Tyler. You almost got one.
So
not
close.
quite, but yeah.
Well, take us through it. Were you like, please, or were you like, I know you're going to cap me. I'm already at, what was it, 105 or something through 7?
I think at 107. The start before I had no hit through 6, and I had like a normal pitch count, or like enough to do it, and then my 7th inning sucked, so I didn't do it then. And that time it probably felt a little bit more real. I think this time I had like 50 pitches in the first 2 innings, so I kind of figured just after 7 with 107 pitches, I figured they weren't gonna let me keep going. I would have loved to, but I just think like with playoffs coming up and I guess like my last few years of like injuries, like I completely understand. Obviously, too, anytime you're in the game and like someone asks you if you want to stay in, you're always going to say yes. It's kind of, I'll always be like, yeah, just let me keep going. But I respect the decision to take me out. It's fine.
What did he even give you the option? Or when you came off the mound, was Doc like, hey, good job, you're done?
Yeah, more of that one, which I kind of expected him to a little bit. But yeah, I didn't really have like the option to go back out or anything. If I did, I would have tried to argue my case, but it is what it is. The decision was made.
But you missed. You got scratched just a few days before. Mm-hmm. Does that go into the decision for Doc? Is Doc like, hey, you know what? Your back was a little cranky. We're gonna definitely
probably.
Not push. I get it. It's 107, but
yeah, I think maybe a little bit. I think just with that. The 107 pitch count, playoffs coming up, I think it was like a factor of everything. I think too, it's kind of weird, like not all 107 is created equal, I guess. Like there's been some starts where I'm like 80 pitches in and it's like high stress innings and everything like that. You can kind of feel it, but that game, I didn't have a ton of runners on or any like sort of high stress innings. It felt like a pretty, I don't know. I felt like I could have gone a lot more, but I just think it kind of depends on the innings and what the 107 pitches were, I think. But yeah, it is what it is. We ended up winning, which was good. So that's all I want.
I was going to say, what's the max you could go? What do you think you could
pitches?
Go if you were pressed? Yeah.
I think a lot. The thing that's weird about starting is like once you get to a certain limit, like you don't feel like you get into that like anaerobic state. When you're at 100 pitches, you don't feel like you need to stop throwing. There's certain games, maybe like a couple a year where you're really fighting yourself all game and there's like stressful innings and you're feeling tired, but something around like 85, 90 pitches, something happens, you get like that second wind. And in my brain, I feel like I can throw a ton of pitches, but I think that's more of like adrenaline and like that anaerobic thing kicking in. And I don't know if that's like the best measurement, but it feels like you can pitch forever at a certain point. I think a lot of starters would like relate to that feeling, but after a certain amount of pitches, it just feels like you can just keep going and going and going.
So how much more sore are you then once you hit that, what'd you say, 80 to 90 pitch count the next day? Like, is it longer recovery or is it longer days of recovery or more sore the next day?
It's kind of, there's not like a formula to it, I'd say. I think the only thing I can really notice is if I have like, I'll have some games where I'm 4 or 5 innings and it's high stress. Like mechanics aren't as smooth. You're kind of fighting yourself. Like every pitch feels a little bit different. It's kind of more of a mental grind to stay locked in. And it's just like a lot of effort to manufacture the same stuff, same velo. And then there's certain games like 2 days ago when I pitched where everything is just kind of lined up. And I think like the stressful innings is the biggest thing for me, I guess. So I think like this time around, I feel really good. I don't feel that sore. But there's some starts previously where I'll be at like 85 pitches and like a ton of runners on in the stretch a lot, doing all that, and then you feel a bit more sore. But this week I feel fine. I also had like being scratched, I had like 9 days, so I had a lot more time. But I feel totally normal. Probably more on like the better end of normal after this one.
That's good. That's good. You mentioned the key though in your no-hitter, or almost no-hitter, that you guys won. Because not long ago, not many games before that, you guys had 8 2/3.
Yeah.
Yamamoto, here he was right there. Halladay hits the home run, and then all hell broke loose. What were you guys thinking on the bench? Because I can't even imagine 8 2/3. You're thinking, hey, Yamamoto, here we go. We got a no-hitter, guys. And then all of a sudden, everyone's walking off. It was one of the craziest games I've ever seen.
Yeah. That was when I had like the little back spasm. They sent me home to get imaging. Everything was fine. But I wasn't actually in the dugout that game. From what I could tell on TV, it was pretty – I don't know. That would have been pretty rough to sit in there for that. But, yeah, it just seemed like everything that last inning, what went wrong could have gone wrong. And felt bad for Yama. I think like the ultimate thing that sucks is like ending up not winning that game. But I don't know. He pitched really well. He looked really good. And that was a tough loss for sure. That's probably one of the like worst ones I've seen or been a part of. Just the feeling, of course, like just what could have been and then how it ended up happening. Just for like the full 180. I've never really been a part of anything like that.
So was it your fault? Did you move in your hotel room? Like were
Yes.
you sitting there on the edge of your bed and you're like, holy crap, I gotta pee, but I can't because Yama's gotta it's the 8th inning. Come on, let's go. So did you hear anything of anybody that moved during the 9th inning there where it was like, it was your fault?
No, honestly, I was back home. I was just watching the game, and then I went back and like I didn't even want to ask any questions. It was already like a few days past, and then I didn't want to bring it back up, so I didn't bring it up again or talk about it. It was one of those things where we all saw what happened, and we were like, let's just get that out of our mind and just continue to play baseball.
Are you a no-talk guy? Are you a no-talk during a no-hitter guy? Or are you like when you were in the 6th, 7th inning, were you don't talk to me guy? Or were you it's okay to still talk to me and we can talk about me having a no-hitter?
That's fine. I don't think anyone would come up and talk about a no-hitter just because like there are certain people who maybe you can't, but no, not really. I'd rather just keep it normal. You know, like I think everyone's already aware of what's going on, and I'm not a very superstitious person, so like I believe that if you do or don't talk about it, I don't think anyone has that much power to like dictate a no-hitter from like a superstition. But I'm a big like in between innings, I don't sit in the dugout a ton. I'm a big pacer. Like I don't really like sitting down, and I like to do like keep my heart rate up a little bit. I don't like to just sit there, so I'm usually in the tunnel doing stuff, like moving around, whatever it is I need to do, like Theragun, whatever it is. So I'm kind of down there talking to like coaches will come in, but I'm not like pacing around in the dugout. It looks kind of crazy with me walking back and forth, so I just do it in the tunnel.
All right. Well, we have 2 catchers on here, and there is one person that can dictate whether it's a no-hitter or not.
You know what I mean? Not from words, from
I know
pitch
what you
calling,
mean.
of course. Yeah, okay.
Pitch calling. Ben Rortved's
Yeah.
out there. He was with the team for like 1 minute. Like his uniform was still drying. Like,
Yeah.
and he goes out and almost gets 2 no-hitters in 3 games. How hard is it to make that transition to a new catcher? And how crazy is it that he came in and did this for you guys in these 3 days?
Yeah, it's nuts. I actually met him last year at a wedding, and he was with the Rays, and I had some mutual friends with him, and I got to know him relatively well, like the night we talked. And he's like super engaging. I think he takes catching obviously very seriously. Like he's always been known for his glove and his pitch calling, and for him to come in and like fit in, he's very personable and like fits in well. It's hard to like jump around teams and stuff like that, but he came in, kind of had the feeling of like, oh, this guy's been here a while. He's very comfortable. Got to talking to him, came in, caught a really good game for Yama, and then it was just not. We got on the same page quick. Like first inning, we had some pitch calling, some setup stuff, and then like as the game went on, we got into a really good flow, and we were on the same page the whole time. How my stuff was like leaking, like early on, I was yanking 4 seams and sliders, so we kind of reverted to like a sinker. He started shifting into righties with the sinker to try to get me more online, and that kind of started getting my slider back on. my four seam sort of sucked the whole game, but he kind of navigated me back into the zone really well. And then last night, Sheehan pitched and had a no-hitter into the sixth. I guess that wasn't him, but like just in general, like with the no-hitters and stuff, it's kind of wild. But yeah, I really love throwing him. He was kind of awesome.
What was it like back in Tampa?
Hot.
Your old stomping grounds, you didn't have to pitch, so I guess that's good.
Yeah, it was. It's the outdoor stadium in the summertime was crazy. That was the hottest game I think any of us have played. But it was cool to be back home and just to see everyone, like the staff and everyone walking around. Like I hadn't been back there in a long time. They gave me like a tribute video. That was really cool. I got to go back home and sleep at home and see family and everything. So it's a good like little reset. I think anytime you can go back and like sleep in your own bed during the season, it kind of gives you this nice like at home feeling, and you've just been gone for so long. But I enjoyed it. I like playing there or the town itself.
All right, every single freaking night we have some issue with the Pitchcom. Every night there's something.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an issue like you Darvish had the other day where he was like pushing sinker? He was like over here pushing sinker, and Felix Fermin didn't hear it or something, and he called curveball, and so you was like, sure, curveball, and then gave up a dinger.
No, I've had the only thing, I don't call my own pitches, or like I don't have a plate or whatever the thing is called. I just kind of like will shake off with the catcher. The only thing that sucks sometimes is the pitch clock when there's like a guy on and like I'll get a sign kind of late. And you're trying to shake back to a sign you want and there's not enough time. And there's been multiple times where I'm like at 3 seconds and then like the last sign, I just go, all right, whatever. And I'll just throw it. And I'm like trying to get to like a slider, let's say. And I've got 2 seconds left, and it's like he just happens to be on sinker or fastball. I just go, fine, whatever. Like I'll get it out of the zone, or I'll put it where I want to try to put it. But it happens kind of a lot. There's a guy on, you can step off, but there's no one on. There's been some times with like 3-2, 2-2, where it's like I can't. I just have to throw whatever I can throw. It just sucks too because like hitters will get a timeout in at bat, and I always like figured we'd get like 1 or 2 Pitchcom things an inning. And like I think after a certain amount of time you can't step off and be like my Pitchcom's not working, or like you can't get to the sign in time. I wish we had like one of those an inning to try to get on the same page, because it's so many times it's 3-2 with no one on and you're like, all right, now I got to throw a pitch I don't want to throw.
Should there be a timeout? Like is there a way to like say, oh well, this could cause an injury, this could cause, obviously you could be like, oh, I don't want to throw that pitch, that could cause a run. Major League Baseball doesn't care about that. But is there a way that you could, as a players' union, bring it up and say, hey, pitchers should have a timeout, which I think they should, but, you know, from a starting pitcher, it means more.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys have talked about that. Like if a hitter gets a timeout in at bat, which I understand as well, like I think we should be able to have a timeout. And there's a couple different things I wish we could change. Like the pitch clock for the warm up in between innings, I wish it was a little bit longer, just because it takes you a little bit of time to get out there. You have time for like 5 or 6 warm ups. And I think for me, especially like my first couple pitches are always slower in the inning, just because I don't feel like I'm fully ready to go. And I'm like in the tunnel doing stuff. I know a couple guys have some issues with that. And like, I do think we should get like at least a timeout in at bat. And I think in the whole scope of trying to save time for games, like a little bit extra time and some timeouts is probably going to add like a minute, 2 minutes to the overall time of the game. So I don't know. I think it would be kind of nice.
I want to ask you about a dude that just returned to the team who seems to have an impeccable record when he's playing for the Dodgers, and that's Max Muncy. Do you see it? And are guys joking about it at this point? Because it's been going on for a few years now.
What are you saying? Like when playing, when we have like a good team record? I agree. The guy like grinds out at bats, like good OPS. Like he's good. I always remember too pitching against him. Like he's just a good hitter. Like great on base, grinds out at bats. Just yeah. I don't know if I'm sure they're correlated a bit for sure. Like we got a really good team. There's a lot of guys on our team that I'm sure if they play our record is good, but. Yeah, like when he's in the lineup, it's a noticeable difference, in my opinion, for sure.
Last one for you. This one popped up about a week and a half ago. What did you think of the Framber Valdez cross-up situation?
Yeah, that was pretty gnarly. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. I'm sure. Have you guys seen it more? I guess like maybe when you've played, was there more of that, or like, no, I don't know. And I also will say, I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I don't actually know if it was intentional. Like, it potentially seems that way, but I don't have like definitive answers on any of that. So I don't know, but that was weird. I'd never really seen anything like that.
Had you ever thought about doing that? Had you ever been like
No.
so mad at a catcher? Let's say it was. I'm not saying you said it. I'm saying it was intentional, in my opinion. Have you ever been that mad at a catcher that you're like, this is what I'm going to do?
No, not at all. I also think like my attitude towards catchers is a bit different. Like, because when I pitch, I'm a big, like, I'll throw some 38-foot curveballs. I'll spike some 54-foot fastball. Like, I'm more like, my bad. So I'm not really trying to. It's hard enough catching me. I don't think I've ever gotten mad at a catcher. Like, no, not really. I think there's been times I still would do anything. Like, you get mad at an umpire. You used to see like dudes call curveball or whatever. Like, the catcher will drop down, the heater will be like a heater up at the umpire. That makes more sense to me. Still not going to do it. Don't like it. But like, that type of thing makes more sense to me than doing it to your catcher, for sure. I've never wanted to do that ever.
Well, you summed it up and you said you would automatically be, hey, my bad, I'm sorry. I'm sure you've crossed a guy up somewhere along the way. And your first reaction isn't to turn your back on the guy and walk off the back of the mound. It's usually, hey, are you okay? That's what generally what most pitchers do is, hey, are you okay? Not turn your back and walk away.
Yeah, that's a rough one, especially being a catcher. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a hard-ass position.
And when I was on the Rays with you and Snell, talk about your blocking practice. You two would just throw some absolute yard darts up there and just like look around like, probably going to do it again.
Yeah, for sure. I'm good for like 5 a game. Absolutely. Like, if I'm trying to tunnel a low heater with a curveball, it's like that's going to be in front of the, like, on the dirt type of bounce situation, like on the plate. So it's not going to, it's tough. I can only imagine trying to catch me, and like, I'm not exactly Greg Maddux out there. So it's hard enough. And then having to worry about if I'm going to like intentionally throw a ball at you. That might be kind of tough to handle.
Kyle Snyder made it easy. Kyle Snyder was just like, oh, you don't even need to get on the edges. You just stay right down the middle. I was like, Snipes. I was like, it definitely worked, but you're getting 48-foot curveballs from Snell as he's calling like different pitches on different locations and times, and you're getting a ball in the neck. And then they're bringing in young Jose Alvarado, Diego Castillo out of the bullpen, and then Drake throwing that like whatever that lefty right-handed changeup ball. So there were some dudes slinging some rocks up there for sure.
Yeah, that was a wild year. That was one of the craziest bullpens I've ever seen.
And
Chaz was on that team too, right? Chaz, the Slider King, was on that team, right?
Oh
Rowe?
yeah,
Chaz
Rowe.
Chaz Rowe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had some crazy arm angles on that year. It was nuts.
Yes,
young Jose Alvarado. That was scary even to watch as a fan.
Oh,
Like,
that was the most miserable 4 pitches I ever caught, because it was 4 fastballs and they all went different directions. Thank goodness it was ball 4 and Kevin Cash came walking out.